Good morning, peeps. $28 Diciembre. Fat Santa's gone home. Did he leave you any toys? Did you make a list? Did you lie to your children? My God. My God, why have you forsaken me? You know, I'll tell you what. We're going, man. Turns out this is it. We took the veil of forgetfulness. So you were somewhere before you were born. You have to accept that. Start there. And then seek truth. I started seeking truth pretty much after I came home from the Philippines in 2017. Earlier in 2017, and then my awakening began with 9/11. That Back to the Future movie. I said, who the fuck did that? There's like an 11-minute movie. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and all the woo-woo they embedded subliminally in that movie. To include the Twin Towers coming down, with Biff hanging upside down. I think that was episode 2. I never even watched it. But it happened on that flat screen TV in the mid-80s. Then 9/11 came. Peter Shoemaker had found Looking Glass in 1980. And Lucifer was born in 81. They're wearing suits now. One is Trump's son-in-law. He engineered the false peace. I wonder which one it was. Lucifer is Archangel Michael's brother. And you're about to listen to a channeling from him through my brother Sam the Illusionist. And I've drawn an illustration to assist. I just did a recent video from this guy. It's coming to me, his name is Paul, I think. I believe. But I haven't looked his name up yet. But I did this video on BitChute. And I've uploaded it to YouTube, so we'll see what happens. Here's the channeling on YouTube, and here's my illustration. Know that you've got a belief system that you need to repair before you start out of here, or you're a goner.
I am Archangel
You call Sam a boy.
Michael now.
Always.
In communication through this boy. At this time, I, Archangel Michael, am here, connected for providing the beings of the Earth planet with information in these moments of change which are slowly and steadily happening within the Earth planet. As more and more changes occur in the Earth planet, the truth begins to come forward, and in every moment there is a recognition of the truth that is found. And I, Archangel Michael, must state that within the layers of reality, without the truth that is found within the self, there cannot be any falsity which exists. We must state that even for a falsity to exist, there must be a
Delta 4
system upon the falsity
is green.
to be true. Therefore,
They're matched up with the KGB and Putin.
In this timeline, truth is freely.
They got the
flowing,
Dyson Sphere from Mercury in
there
January.
are many types of lies, deceit, and other information.
It's only
which
light
were
minutes
hidden
away, peeps.
from the people
As are
of the Earth planet
Mars
are
and
being
Venus.
exposed at this time.
They all had taken the
As
veil
truth comes
9.6
out,
million
many
years
of
ago.
the beings
And
on
the Pleiadians
planet
are
will
running
be
it.
able to look beyond the veil,
Michael's from
which
Arcturus.
was kept in order to separate
Akura,
the truth
I love you,
from
girl.
falsity, and to separate the
Kissinger was Enki, he's dead.
darkness from the light.
Marduk
As
is
your
Marduk is
begins to
dead.
expand
He was in row
further
2 at
and
Bush's
further,
funeral.
your
The end of Vatican
consciousness
II.
will also expand, and it will begin to grasp.
It's an 80-year
That
contract.
many
It's
years
over.
ago,
It went to Mars.
many
Enlil
people
was
would
passed
not have been
to
able
Trump.
to grasp.
Trump is
And
Enlil Akora.
I,
Kissinger was
Archangel
Enki
Michael, will
Akora.
state that
Enlil's
it
a
is
rotating
against
position. It was
each
Aldebaran. Now
being's
it's
belief
Mars.
system,
Akora.
which will
Hear me. I'm
provide
Mark
this
Turin.
type of
I was Billy the Kid.
revelation
I was
to happen.
Bonfilius de Feligno, the
And
first
as you
crusader.
begin to
1096 to
open
1104,
your
peeps.
eye energy center,
1100.
the beings appear to let the truth that is found within the self.
Mani
Each will begin to express
Padme
the truth as well. Since the truth which is found within the self will set all beings free.
Listen up.
In the illusion
Break out.
complex, free from attachments, free from the experience of separation, and
The box,
free from
Mecca.
the programming of the societal
Soul swapping.
complex which exists.
They swim in your head.
This veil
Your belief
was
system
created by
is your
the
attachment.
patterns
You
of the
need
mind
repair
complex
or you're going to
activities of the
die.
people of the
And
earth
death is a
planet.
lie. Do you want to
And
be
since
here or
the
not?
patterns of the
Red.
mind complex activities are those aspects which create
You like
the
Earth?
type
You like
of
Gaia?
veil around the earthly incarnation. This can be overcome by learning to remember, to reprogram the self, and find a greater correlation and vibration complex alignment. Therefore, as the finish line towards the fourth density merges closer and
Fourth
closer,
density.
it is time for all who
That's awareness.
adhere to the path of truth to
You were
remember
elemental. You were
that
cyclical.
it is time
Now
to
you're you.
continue forward in the spreading
Dogs
of the
dream.
light
Cats
and
dream.
finish what
They're
was
faster
started.
than you.
Since the light, once it begins to
They can
emanate
survive.
freely, will
Unless they're
overcome
eating
all
out
the
there.
veils of separation and the veils
And a
which
Belgian Malinois
primarily
will
provide
hang.
for different stages of illusion complex understanding.
Rambo
And at
likes
this time,
rocks.
it is
I'm his
important
handler.
for all beings to not succumb to the old
God bless
patterns
everyone.
of programming which are found within
We are God.
yourself. Therefore, this is the moment at this time I, Archangel Michael, now leave you in love and light and peace. So be it.
All right.
Bye.
I love you, Michael. War. Conflict. Competition. Our brother was born on 9/11, 3 BC under 4 stars, a total eclipse of the sun, Jupiter, and Regulus. His crucifixion was intentional because he needed to show us that death was a lie, so you could forgive yourself for thinking that you needed to eat his body spiritually and be dormanted by the fact of that incident in your box as a Christian, or occulted out as a Jewish person who kind of wants nothing to do with that, or a Muslim that can be triggered, dark or light. Muhammad is Siran. He was a being at 1100. And when that Quran was written, it was a sacred document. And there are halls of records. Giza, Tibet, the Bahamas, and Antarctica. 4 sets. Mother Earth has chakra. 7 like us. Mount Shasta, Titicaca, Mount Ayers in Australia, Glastonbury in England, Giza, the throat chakra, and this is your opinion. It's occulted with fluoride. That's number 6. Guan Yin, quinine. Babaji coached her. So go up to Count Saint Germain, who hid it. He was Pilate's doorman as Cartafius. Count Saint Germain's a special man for us. He was in the Theosophical Society, and that man walked through time and he guards crystal at the base of Lake Tahoe. Kevin Pollak, the Hollywood actor, self-proclaims to be Count Saint Germain. He spoke to Jack Nicholson right after Magic attained HIV, and I don't believe that to be the case. But Count Saint Germain walks this planet right now and meditates regularly. So he's breaking out. Might be a Jackson, but Sarah's daughter won, an infant at the time of the crucifixion. So when Mary Magdalene, her mother, got her husband out of the tomb from an inner door, they escaped through a cave system and came out and went to France. Yeshua was vibing out, so he lit everybody up at Pentecost, all those fishermen. And Peter went back to Jerusalem. Mary Magdalene disappeared out of that Bible, except for a few references, like the whore part, and Yeshua writing something in the sand. Well, our Creator loves us. In Rev 3, 9-11, talks about the fake Jews. Oh, what a label. They're embedded in a separate tribe, and then occulted into several others. But there's the dark and the light, and Maya is daughter too. She's my twin flame. 2020 is 505 Baktun, and there's exactly 144,000 kin or days in a Baktun. So if you count them all up, you come to 505, 911, 3 BC, slide 3 to the right, whoop, 2020, and begin your calendar right there with you walking the earth. The Washington Monument will come down, and it will be Dolores Cannon's configuration, because we're going to a crystalline grid, and that's DC. I was there by myself with my dog Rambo. I was Billy the Kid. I started the Lincoln County War. That monument's coming down. It's a disgrace to our country. George Washington was painted across the Delaware after coordinating with the king to buy DC for gold. If you didn't know that, you know it now. It was purchased from the King of Spain. Man, them Spanish and Portuguese came ripping around the South, right through South America, the Rio Grande, and they kept going. Magellan made it all the way over there to the Philippines, and Lapu-Lapu was supposed to get circumcised. By what weapon, I don't know, but let me tell you what. Magellan went down, and Lapu-Lapu is a fish, and Mactan is the island right next to Cebu. Man, them Japanese came all the way in. Cannibals all over the place. Russell Volksman was the first true guerrilla warfighter, pretty much by himself, with one key man that made it the whole way with him. He straightened out the NCOs and reminded them that they needed to dig slit trenches or they were gonna die. When that party ship was running somewhere in the jungle, he rolled up his sleeves and said, "Come on, Sergeant," and fixed it, and then moved on. There's a leader, right? Any NCO would agree with that. So yeah, it's your box. Born to die. Ripe old age. Last will or trust. You know, you're just preparing to go. People do it. Do you have a life insurance policy, an effective one with term? You have an IRA that's going to get you by, a Roth? What is your religion? What's your belief system? Did you just stop going and say fuck it and blow it out in a traffic jam in your 9 to 5 and hugging your kids and getting through life, but not really knowing about reincarnation? And maybe you know and you don't give a shit. I mean, it's in degrees, but the sun is going to fix those that need to be fixed, because it's Yeshua ben Joseph. He's the Shamash. He's the gateway. He did it. What about medicine? Medicine. What is medicine? You go to a doctor, and right to the bank with your pills. You know, they used to hang leeches, so they have natural cures to fix bad blood. How does blood get bad? What would you do for your intake to get bad blood? Oh my God, and down to the bone cancer. I mean, it gets familial, but we marry and we divorce. Some cling to their wives and others say, I need to be the fuck out of here. It's very difficult when time goes on and they finally bust up. But Hollywood sets the standard for us. And we are copycats. We go take an oath, we exchange diamond rings, we swear to God we're going to stay together till death do us part, and boop! Kennedy. Of course, they got forgiveness from the church and they were allowed to divorce. So do you read the news? Did you know that David Berkowitz used a semicolon and the guy from the news, Jimmy Breslin, pointed that out for your entertainment? That boy was hypnotized and he was shooting people that were making out in Brooklyn. And me, and Jeff Harr, and Eddie Shapiro, and Kevin McCormick, and Richie Mancuso, and my brother Danny, and Jimmy War, all went into, I mean, that's just the key guys. There's the Stikowskis, and yeah, I could add 10 people to the list. We, from Long Island, went right into the heart of Bensonhurst to set up and run a carnival for weekends. We did it all the time. We were in the heart of Italy where they're carrying, statues and stuff. You're not supposed to be in those neighborhoods if you're like, some Long Island guy. Well, you could be. You know what I mean, though. And then it was a fucking blockout. The New York City blockout, so I guess that was 77. And David Berkowitz was running around in that period of time, too. Then he got dehypnotized, and he's regular again. But they were talking to him. He said they were talking to him in his head. So, who's talking to you? Who's talking to you? You talking to me? Do you read the news? Do you believe it? Do you believe that Kim from North Korea is not a member of the Fabian Club? Okay. Well, Miley was talking to China, and the guys on Fox said, if this is true, that's treason. Well, he did. But we blew by that for Donald Trump to intentionally go into retreat when he could have fixed the voting problem. 23 September 2017. It happened. The great sign in heaven, Rev 12. But the first Rev 12 was the 4-star conjunction on 9/11. So how'd we get CERN? Do you guys even know what that is? It's a nuclear centrifuge in Europe, the Swiss-French border. Boy, did they do it to us with cybernetics. But in this case, we're talking quantum. We're talking Bernstein's bears and who remembered what and ooh, CERN. So you take that and do soul walk-ins to blow up the Georgia Guidestones and light up Vegan City, and they just regulate it to 440. Bam! Meanwhile, Indigo Angel is like having a seance with Felix Hyde, just taking down the 440. She's a goddess. She is a goddess. Indigo Angel will be glorified by humanity. When this is over, she'll be damn near the top. What a woman. And then Kaya Ra, who wrote our future word of coaches, the Sophia Code. Sophia is divine wisdom. Get her book and be invoked. It's living word testimony for you. Statue of Liberty is Isis. It's a prior personality of Blessed Mother. She's key code 1. Code of 1 o'clock on your dial. Number 2 is Hathor. She's from Venus. If you read that book, you'll understand your DNA down to the electron level. The potential for you. Just to be aware that if you follow guidance and get telepathic, you'll be with us. Heaven is 6th density. It's coming here. When you drop all this and we move to the Mayan calendar, we're going to be in a 20-month cycle of 3 weeks each. And every day is going to be Sunday with 5 lazy days from 6 to 10 September. And I'll keep saying it until we do it. And I'm not going to pass away. And I'll win any argument with my syntax, to include Russell J. Gould, who's a great man. He captured the flag for the 3rd time. Man, I love that guy. Read it. Watch it. Last flag standing. Him and a guy named Miller and what's-her-face, the Extreme Makeover VP, took the syntax. But she's stupid, so we got no problem there. Yeah, they did it. Cybernetics. The Frankfurt group was key, but there was a Vienna group. So you've got Italy and Rome. Just arts and crafts in you to be an artist. So that you could explore with our one true creator, Abun. That's your delta force protection. That's your triangle. That's your pineal gland. That's your 3rd eye. Don't brush with fluoride and drink tonic water with gin. Admit all your mistakes. All your mistakes inside of you. Not to me. Doesn't matter what you say or feel to me. If it's a negative feeling, you got problems. So be positive, because you still breathe. Be aware, be clear. Discontinue the use of fluoride. If it's coming into your house in public water, you're infecting your pineal gland. We have to clarify everything on this planet. Source will help us. By our abundance and our intention to share, we'll redefine the way we do business. People will walk and learn and contribute, and we'll have Tesla technology to move things beyond combustion and oil. That's prehistoric. That's the Saudis. Everyone that's going to be here is going to need to, if they've got problems drinking adrenochrome, they're going to need to beg for forgiveness. I hope that someone like Hillary Rodham Clinton or William Clinton steps over, transmutes, tells the truth as it all melts down, and stays with our collective. Because, man, they did it. You must admit, they did it. He was Ahab, she was Jezebel. So who are you? I was Billy the Kid. As I mentioned, I was Bonfilius de Feligno. And I was Margaret Clitheroe from York. Alive right around the time of Nostradamus. Man, you take a starfish and you cut it in half and you start doing doodles and reading cartoons, and there's no one like him. He sits on Sirius A now with Sit On. Okay? So I'm doing pretty good on this. I'm at 23 minutes. What else do I need to say other than everything that I've just told you is true? And I want it to be known that as time progresses, I'll get a forgiveness and a pardon from the governor of Colorado, who lied. Because when I was Billy McCarty, I wrote him a letter saying, come meet me. I want to tell you what happened. And eventually we did. And then he didn't keep his end of the bargain. I got shot in the heart anyway by Pat Garrett at Fort Sumter, where my museum is. And here's the way true resurrection works, via reincarnation. The man that shot me in the heart, Pat Garrett, is one of my better friends in my life, in the Army. All school time, although we were at Fort Bragg together with the 3rd man, our running time was at Fort Huachuca. We crashed a teak party at the University of Arizona at Tucson. It was rush week. We went in there and said, hey, we're in. And Jesse took the lead because he was from Pennsylvania, Stroudsburg. Oh yeah, we're from the Stroudsburg chapter. Oh, what's the handshake? Yeah, we don't do that shit. Oh, let me go check the book. So we're laughing, I mean. And then, but the place was great. We got into this college thing because we were only 21, 22. those guys are married. I wasn't. And I'm like, holy shit. Neon lights, all these babes out in the Southwest. Holy shit. They're beautiful. So anyway, before the guy came back, we booked out. I went with Jesse out west. We met Frank Ortol. We had a blast on the West Coast. And he was Pat Garrett. So he died on the operating table maybe 2-3 years ago, I suppose. And was dead on the machines for 1 minute 43 seconds. Then he came back with the clamps. And then he related what happened to him in the inner life. He met his family, his father and mother, and he was on being welcomed, and along with the message, you're not supposed to be here yet, you got to go back. So 1 minute and 43 seconds of experience. So in that time, he was told, tell Mackenzie's kin, I believe her mother, familially, that she's okay. Because when you lose a young person through an unfortunate circumstance, it's devastating. There are accidents that happen, sudden death syndrome, the car door, the overheated car, and my God, they're gone. It's like that infant that was suffocated when the guy came out of the commissary and threw 2 cases of beer right on him. But it was okay, it was light beer. Anyway, Jesse was able to tell me that. And he was Pat Garrett. Now he's going to have to admit that he didn't give any warning when he shot me as a sheriff. I opened the door, I said, K&S. And you know whose room I was in? Keith Ryan's. That's his place right now. Keith Ryan, the third guy at the teak party. Man, them Greek letters. There's lambda that holds it together in the 6th dimension. And you just have to trust it. Why is everything different? What holds everything together? Eh? Eh? Another good friend was Kenneth Stouts. Fast track ranger. Knew how to fight. Dropped by Bill Garrison out in Utah. 1993. I was about to give a briefing on the Socrates system with Socrates in the room to get that news about how his system works over the net. Scampi. Nationwide. TSSCI. Early 90s. Don Dukes invented Singars, and he was from the Phoenix program. He worked for Socrates, as did Dave Morris and Scott Strange and all the ascended masters of U.S. SOCOM that went up to help regulate things properly. So there was a light side at U.S. SOCOM. Trust William. We had Singars. We could communicate. The Russians couldn't hear us with crypto. But it was in support of George H.W. Bush. The man of 9/11. The overarching, all the 9/11s in your life till 2018. With Obama doing his in Benghazi. And everybody blamed some guy that imaged Muhammad saying a few things. And oh, that's it. All you cross-dressers point that way. And it went on. And the guy from the Muslim Brotherhood got dropped in the woo-woo. And up comes Al-Sisi, the current president, the military commander, the dictator. How do you dictate? It just so happens that he was an exchange guy as a young officer, and his exchange partner in America was a man named Frank Phillips, who's probably the best officer we could have given to have a good time. You doing all right? Great. My exchange student was from was Vincent Nundwe from Malawi. The guy liked bare feet, and he forgot a piece of equipment at airborne school, and I had to I decided to go back with him to get his shit so he could pass inspection for the morning. And I was in a rush to get back. You know how I could drive, possibly, if you'd been with me. But I wasn't reckless driving. I was just accelerating, you know, 40 into 25. So some fucking goober takes my license plate number and reports me. And I get called into the company commander, who was fucking Strack. He was the airborne company commander. And he wanted to know what the fuck I was doing, speeding. And I told him. And he excused me. Because he got it. You take care of people. You take risk. And you put down people that don't need to be here. In this case, it's going to be with a water board. So if you're a disturbed person, you better straighten out, or your day will come on this planet. Because we're going to bring it. Knights Templar. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth. I don't care who you are. Jared Kushner. You tell the truth, bro. Truth up. You want to be here? Lucifer? You truth up. Diabolical. Took your ride with Ozzy. On Nibiru. From Jupiter, the highest magnetic resonance in this solar system. And we're taking it back. Yeshua is the Shemesh, and he regulates the show. Watch your VR. Watch your hockey games. Watch Artificial. Rise up and vibe. Just love above it, and it'll work. That's intended. Everybody have peace, a seen way. Knights Templar, they're on the floor of the carpet. I was one of the 13 Hopi. Add that, then try and deal with it and be me. Somebody's got to wear it. So I look forward to meeting men of lore and women of lore. And if you viewed this and you understand it, it's going to drop on you. So stand with me. Understand. Let's be equal. Ra, the law of one. Tare, tu tare, tori soha. Key code 3 is Tara. Key code 4 is the Blessed Mother, right behind your back. She's watching you draw. The holy couple, Yeshua and his wife, are right over your left shoulder. When you invoke this circle that I'm speaking of, key code 6 is Guan Yin. 777 is boom. Right there, it's slightly offset. Your do loop. Your ego is surrendering. It's going down. And you're still you. But you're dismissing everything you believe. Lose that identity. Forget your passport. We're not going to need them as a mentality. And hang with the system, just like he had to hang. And be patient and persevere. We're in the golden age, folks, as of 26th July, 2021. We've been victimized by thought, form, influence. Thought is a dark web. And he won Lemuria because we couldn't stick together. Popular opinion went dark. So it's opinion, it's voting, it's magnetic resonance. They had scalar energy in Pine Gap. Nostradamus drew a cartoon of that. And the rooster is the rooster, but our collective opinion is our magnetic shot from a compass. Magnetic north, to be known with a declination. And with Sarah, the occupying grid, is the blue Kachina. The Hopi corn doll is her. Back to the Hopi. We got it. 13 went down. From Giza through the Amenti sphere, which is essentially dissipated space in Sirius and everything that comes with that, along with the ride down to Agartha. Whoop! Full knowledge, coach them, U13 over centuries, the Agarthans. They have forgotten how to, what we call pray. I suppose what you've known to be prayer in your life was gone from their life. They were dormant. Inner Earth, dormant. And the reptiles had them, coached by the Draco. And if you look at the Hopi now for the past 3 years, you'll see the irony of what's actually happened to us, because they hit a streak of unparalleled proportions for obedience, sticking together, trying to get through it, and that third mesa was holding out at Old Arabi. And the guards at the gate did not have to be vaccinated because that section said we're not in. So therefore, the entire village was vaccine free. Now, if an individual wanted to go do that, they could, but as a policy, a non-vaccinated person was working at the gate, checking people coming and going. And one tribes member voted in a tribal election. And because of that, the guys at the gate at the third mesa, that's Mintaka, were not permitted to be there if they weren't vaccinated, working the gates. So that's the direction that went. And the man that showed me the walls, Bertrand, was a member. So those etchings on those walls come from all dimensions, to include Orion and Mintaka. Look at Orion's belt. Al Nilam in the middle. There's a community church at the second mesa. And that first mesa is a disgrace. As you enter there, they got a church. It was a prison. That entire waterway is disrupted because of, you could say, man-made weather and neglect. So a lot of changes coming to the planet. You know, water is ready to work for us when we allow elevation and cleansing and hard work to do repair. So the Hopi will repair those three mesas, and when they convert and we go Mayan and they realize Sarah is Yeshua's first daughter, they'll be proud. They'll be dancing with snakes in their mouths again and bring it. You want to bring rain? You love a snake? That's Pentecostal. And Borat mocked it. And Trump read the snake poem 3 times. You look at that guy. I could go on. Mr. TV, Miss Universe, pageant owner, told that woman on stage, I get even only 10 times voice. 10 times voice, Donald. Donald. He went into retreat on 6 Jan. And yet, when he went into retreat, the golden age began a year later. 26 July. High self-awareness. Let the women lead. What a great idea. Men guard. Y'all have peace. Every day.